breaking down rosters.
He never tells me, like, he just starts it up and then just tells me midway, like, right now, this is what I'm figuring out what it is about.
So we had a heated debate about
I'm not doing this one again.
I won, clearly.
He just literally repeated himself. I'm not doing this one again.
I hated him. But actually, we're going to talk about, we have 2 more teams to go over. We did every team except for CLG, FlyQuest, and Echo Fox.
You literally just said there's 2 teams and then said 3 teams.
English is not my first suit. Language.
Okay.
So we're going to do CLG, actually. They are a dark horse for the season. I don't think people have super high expectations for them, but they don't have super low expectations either, because what it looked like by the end of last split, they got some momentum with Wiggly. They finally changed some players. People have been asking them to change players for splits, weeks on end. They finally did it. They got rid of Rainover, a player they wanted for so long. It didn't work out too well. And who else? Who he left? Now 100 Thieves. Let's try and break down the roster. Let's go from topside with Darshan.
Topside is an extremely large weakness.
Actually, yeah, he's been a large weakness for what split do you think he had? He had a decline. The first starting one though.
The first starting one was the split after his MSI performance in 2000.
Summer 2016 is when he marginally started declining away.
Insanely, it wasn't marginally. He instantly dropped.
I don't know if it was instantly though. He brought it back at certain points though.
I think he was instantaneous. One of the worst top laners from there on.
Really?
Yes. I think from that point on, he stopped being a carry. He started being...
Duke beat him that hard. You think Duke mass...
I don't know what happened to him, but he was just insanely...
Well, I don't know if I count that, though, because, like, you know how they got... People get burned out after their side playing that main
He has not played well since then. That's ridiculous.
So, like, because he... It's weird, though. Okay, so I will say that spring 2017 is when I saw it. Because MSI... I give him some slack. They did come back after playing really hard. They played a lot of games. He may have gotten burned out. Spring 2017 is when I visibly saw him just started I was like, where is the Darshan that was like 1v9ing every game when his team couldn't? So where do we break? Like where do we do with this? Like we know he's not good right now. So do you think it's better to just play Fallen Bandit? I thought it was just better to just play Fallen Bandit.
I mean, I really don't know why they're still playing Darshan. He's not been good. It's just been too long since he's been decent.
I think that you take the Cloud9 approach that TSM did. Take a new top laner and give him a chance. There's literally nothing more.
To be fair, they were forced into that because Impact just left.
But they do like the whole rookie talent thing though. So like at that point, if you have a person that's been there for so long and he's not, just get a rookie. I mean, TSM's doing it. FlyQuest is doing it. And CLG didn't do it. So we'll see how it goes.
Even Golden Guardians managed to pull it off.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Just that's the issue. But he has some good things about him. Shot calling, veteran. He has some veteran experiences. He can carry games when given the right tools. He does pair up with his jungler very well.
If he's a shot caller, then he needs to go anyways because their shot calling was terrible last year.
He hates Darshan so much.
I do.
I'm trying to, but it's like points where you can like bring he brings that veteran leadership, which a team does need that at certain points.
Okay, I will give him credit if they anywhere perform to standard.
If they perform to at least 6th place, that's better than last split. Because they were literally almost
I don't think he brings veteran. Like even if he's a veteran, that's not always the positive influence.
It can be more.
Was Conquan and Kiwikin? They were not veteran aspects of any team.
The legendary Kiwi Kid?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to put Kiwi Kid out there. Though no one disliked playing with him. Apparently he was a cool guy.
He had some good highlight plays though. When he did them.
No. I'm not giving Kiwi Kid.
He had some incredible Alistair 4-man pulverizes.
No. If he even pulled off the combos, I was impressed with this play for that day.
I miss OHQ. He seemed like a decent ADC. But, okay, so they like the veteran experience of CLG. They like that he brings a consistent performance. Like, his worst performances aren't, like, feeding, though. That's the worst thing. That's the best thing. I'm not saying worst thing for it. Like, he pairs up with his jungler very well. He knows how to, like, he has to have some influence on their macro play. Because they do and have played through topside a lot.
What I'm saying is, even if he has any form of shot calling, I mean, their biggest weakness is shot calling. They're indecisive around the map, and
they don't know when to pull the trigger.
Yeah, so if he's the shot caller, he needs to go even more so, because he's not doing a good job of it.
And then that's when they switched to Biofrost doing it. And that's when they won quite a bit of games,
What I'm saying is, Darshan all around, I don't think he brings really anything to the table. His carry performances are abysmal. Like, that's what he was known for. Now he just can't even do them. His tanks are, just average at best. So
he carried some games when he had Darius.
He has some games where he carries, but they're so in between, so far and in between.
They're so far between. Like if he carries week 1, he's not going to carry like week 2
or 7. Week 2 to 7, he'll stop carrying.
He has to stop being in the game.
I just like
There's some games where he solo killed like a lot of the top laners here.
I will give him every once in a while. He has random spurts of pop offness, but he's just still like, if not the single worst top laner, in the bottom 3.
So you would have rated him like he was 8th in your thing, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's because
Solo was 9th in mine, I think.
Yeah, Solo was there. That's why.
Yeah,
Solo was there. I'm not.
At least Darshan managed to solo kill some people. But Solo just managed to sit there.
Solo was terrible. Solo was worse than him, but Solo's not even a starter anymore, so he lost that spot too.
And okay, so that's Darshan. So he's not going to be a positive for them. He's going to be a negative for them.
That's the biggest weakness.
I think that you just take a chance on Fallen Bandit. Yeah.
So
just take a chance on the new people.
Yeah. So jungle, which is Wiggly, obviously. I think that Wiggly is a gigantic question mark.
He's the biggest question mark of the team, though.
He is, but he's performed extremely well. He has.
If you look at his academy games, that's an LCS caliber jungler right there.
I would like to imagine it.
Where would you put him at the LCS caliber, though?
I don't know. I just haven't seen enough from him.
If you factor in just the academy performances, I think it's upper middle pack jungler. He would be considered overrated for underrated for a while.
I just think that we haven't seen consistency, obviously, because he hasn't consistently played. So I don't know what his weaknesses are yet.
His final games were against
Cloud9
Academy.
Way too well, man. He's just like.
Oh yeah, his last games were against Cloud9 Academy on the Academy finals with the CLG team. Yeah. So if you factor in those are I would say those are LCS caliber.
I think I'd like to imagine it, but I don't think there was a jungler competing with him.
Yeah, because Svenskeren was still playing bad at that point.
Yeah, Svenskeren has had a lot of just clear weaknesses, but for the most part, I think that I'd like to see a lot more from. Wiggly.
I think he'll be upper middle pack.
I don't know enough. Again, he's only played 2 games.
But factoring he has played on the stage before.
His 2 games were extremely good, but those could literally be like, just imagine like Acadian was at one point the single best player for like 2 games.
Yeah,
when he was taking on season 6 TSM.
Season 7, right?
It was season 6 TSM.
Was it season 6 TSM?
Yes.
But he started in season 7 on Echo Fox.
No, he didn't. Acadian? No, that's the wrong person.
God, you.
Inero. Sorry, Inero was the person I was talking about this whole time.
He'd forget my name if I didn't tell him it.
Yeah, Inero was the person I was talking about. Mm-hmm. Inero was like the single best player for like he was just hard carrying people on Rengar.
Oh, you mean Inori?
Inori. Why am I saying Inero? Man, what is wrong with me right now?
You forget your own kids' names.
I don't have kids. But Inori was 100% hard carrying games on Rengar. Remember, he was the one player who could essentially destroy the season 6 TSM. Like they were on just a rampage, not losing any games, and then he just came and just beat them in a best of 5 with Rengar solely. Like the dude.
And then they faced Cloud9 and got abysmally destroyed.
No, essentially he played well for that like spurt of time. He even played well a little bit after that.
Oh, he thinks basically he's a jungler that will play good to a certain point. And then eventually just not
more
be
so
relevant.
is I don't want to put too much emphasis on these 2 games because we haven't seen enough from him.
Yeah.
I won't put anything more than I think he's good, and he has the potential to be extremely good, but we don't know enough yet.
I think upper middle pack he thinks unproven yet.
Well, he is unproven. That's without a doubt.
Mid lane, Power of Evil.
I think a Power of Evil is
an upgrade over Hui.
Definitely.
In what aspect though? Because Hui did do good things for them.
I mean, I don't know. We can't really tackle aspects that are most of them are behind the scenes things that we can't know.
In their CLG series,
he's a better player.
He did the shot calling thing, but he couldn't do it effectively enough.
I just don't hear enough of their comms to know whether or not he's a good shot caller or not. I can't say anything.
I think Power of Evil is if you want to take on the top teams in North America, I think Power of Evil was the right move to get.
Power of Evil is a better player all around. I think I'm kind of sad that a better team didn't get him, but like I think it's still a great pickup for if you're CLG, you pick the right person. Yeah. This is gonna make you a contender at the least.
Yeah, but I think it's marginally an upgrade.
It's not even marginal. I think it's a pretty decent.
It's just what he offered them last year wasn't even that bad.
I mean, Hui is still an incredible mid laner. I think he's one of the best mid laners in NA still. Mm-hmm. But Power of Evil is just exceptional. Yeah, it's one of the best mid laners of all time in the West.
It is an upgrade. What else? What would be his weaknesses though? You said if he's not ahead, he's not the same carry like Jensen and Bjergsen or Niski could
I
be.
think that he's a liability when he's not ahead. More so as I think that Jensen obviously is too, but Jensen's less likely to get.
Yeah, to be pure war, Jensen could be like 0-2 against his enemy mid laner and solo kill them. I don't think Power Vivo could do that.
I think that Jensen's still a liability from behind, but he's less likely to get behind, in my opinion.
Could Power Vivo be the guy to pull the trigger and like
easily can.
They're gonna want to play through mid lane. He's their strongest player.
I think he obviously can. I mean, we've seen him do it. We've seen him during his Unicorns of Love days.
Misfits still kind of.
Yeah, I think he can be, but
Optic was literally 1v9ing.
I think this team is going to be centric around either, depending on Wiggly's performance, is where this team is going to centralize.
I think they're going to be a mid jungle focused team. I think Stixxay and Bioforce aren't going to always completely win the lane. That's the
I just don't know enough about Wiggly. So it's all dependent on how good Wiggly is where the focus of this team gets shoved towards. If Wiggly underperforms, I think it's going to be a bot-centric team.
Which adds bot lane. Stixxay and Biofrost. Stickfrost. No?
Yeah, you probably should.
Frosty.
You're so stupid, man.
Okay, I thought Biofrost played pretty good all last year. Not amazing, but pretty good. And then when he had his shot calling, when they allowed him to do it, they won quite a number of games. They won like, what, five games in a row? And then they had their mental breakdown when they lost like 8 games in a row. His bar performances were good. He was leading the team. Stixxay and Biofrost managed to win lane a lot. I think the liability of the team is actually not, if not Darshan, it's going to be Stixxay. I think Stixxay overextends. He doesn't know when to not overextend. He doesn't know when to not go too aggressive, and those are big problems that can arise and be bigger problems later on.
The two liabilities are going to be top and jungle.
I think Stixxay has shown he can be a liability.
He can be, but I think for the most part he plays incredible. I think that he is still one of the better ADCs in NA, and obviously, like I really don't know what to say about him. I think he is, in terms of carry performances, he's capable. I think he's inconsistent on them, but when he is able to carry, he's really good at it. I think that his worst problem is he needs a guiding hand in the lane, and I don't think Biofrost is capable of that. I don't think Biofrost is an extremely good support, but he's not capable of leading somebody in the right way.
Because they never really had direction. That's their issue. Both of them were new to each other, and it took once they came on, it came on pretty good. But that's the issue. Biofrost, he doesn't really do what other supports do better. Like, he's pretty good, but he doesn't do it better than Smoothie, Afro, or maybe even now Core JJ.
I would say, honestly, in terms of what I've seen from Biofrost, he's capable of competing with anybody in NA. I don't think he's he's by far away.
He got on TSM because of mechanics.
But it wasn't just mechanic. Like, and then when he got on, he proved to be. He's one of the smartest. In my opinion, he's one of the smartest supports in the league. He won't be a liability in terms of being stupid. He won't walk around the map and go
just randomly face check.
Yeah, he's a smart player. I think that's not what you get from Stixxay, but I think that hopefully it rubs off a little bit. I think that this.
I think like with Stixxay, if Stixxay fixes his problems of getting caught out and overextending, I think there'll be a top 4 bot lane, top 3 bot lane maybe again.
Easily, I think they were really close to that at least that last season.
Because the last split, it wasn't last year. It wasn't really they didn't get smashed. Bot wasn't the reason why they were losing. Like, just their pure gameplay wasn't the reason why they were losing.
Bot lane was literally
it was the only good thing about them actually.
No, mid lane was good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, mid also, but like. If who he lost and like bot lane wasn't never gonna lose you the game just based off just losing. Darshan lost and Raynor lost bad.
I would like
I would call him game over.
Why do you jokes? That's not a jokes. That was not anything.
So where would you actually like consider them? Underrated, dark horse.
I think they're obviously underrated because I don't think anybody gives them credit that they did. Like, there's rarely anybody who even talks about them in terms of like one of the better, like the elite bot lanes in NA, when they've proven at least to be capable of doing that. I think their biggest problem is going to come from Stixxay's inconsistency, which in turn is going to make the bot lane inconsistent. So we're going to see a lot. This whole team is just, I don't know what to think about them right now.
The whole team is a giant question mark.
It really is. Like, inconsistent bot lane.
The only not question marks are Biofrost and like Power of Evil.
Yeah, those are the two consistent players, but top lane is a gigantic liability. Junglers are just, I don't know anything. I'd like to say that he's going to be good, and I think he's going to be, but I don't know enough yet.
I think he's just going to be a middle-of-the-pack jungler, which is, I mean, that's better than, if he's a middle-of-the-pack jungler, that's way better than what they had last year.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know what else to really bring about them. There's something else that they do that's... Oh, that's the problem with CLG, is that they... it's really odd that's where to say this. They're never going to... They've always had good players, but not, like, anything better than what the top teams can offer. So if you're accurately breaking down the roster, it's very, very hard to say where they're actually going to be, because they've never really had elite players in every single role to be called an elite team.
And I still don't think they do. I think... In terms of mid lane, I think that
I think he's one of the best mid laners here.
He can go from first place to fifth. Like, I think.
And then you have a support who's either first or fourth too.
No, he's not inconsistent. I think he's going to be a top four or five support.
Then you have 6A. One week he could be competing with Bang, and the next week he could be as bad as what's his name, Apollo.
Apollo's not even bad.
Wild
though.
Turtle.
Yeah.
Wild Turtle's been bad for a while. I don't care what no one says. He's been actually garbage.
Nah, man, he had some really weirdly good performances. Like, I think he was an average ADC, but there's just too many good ADCs in the league.
Yeah, like when he was good, there was like no one in the league who would like compete with him. Now there's good ADCs, it's like he's like not even relevant anymore. Because you factor in, what does their team do? I don't really see his team having. I see his team having an identity crisis for like 6 weeks straight. And then having a random burst in playoffs where they're maybe good and maybe make the finals. But I could see CLG in like a 3rd, 4th place match. I don't really see it. I do not see them win the split. Not getting to the finals.
I really think...
Playoffs probably.
Maybe.
Maybe? He wants to put Clutch Gaming as the possible...
I have a lot of faith in Clutch Gaming.
Because you factor in like...
I think DeMonte is a little bit underrated to an extent. I think that obviously a lot of these players don't usually have inconsistencies. I mean, they do have them, but they're not usually bad. So, all around, I easily could see this team making it to the finals over CLG, or to the playoffs over CLG.
The problem is, like, what Clutch, we kind of already know their identity. You don't even have to really see them play to know what Clutch's identity is going to be. Clutch's identity is going to be aggression and beating your face in. What are CLG's?
CLG's is...
It's going to be focused on macro. They do always focus on that. That's something they've always consistently tried for is good macro.
I don't know if their macro is going to be good, though. They don't have a good macro shot caller.
Like, I just see Clutch Gaming as another Echo Fox we had last year. I don't really think they're going to have, like... Then I got a standard to... Like, I don't think Clutch is gonna play crisp, clean League of Legends all year.
It's not crisp or clean that it's necessary. It's standout performances.
But I think that CLG is not going to do either of those.
The thing about it is, I think that they're going to be capable enough to get to the playoffs and then... All these players. No, I think that's where they're gonna look good.
The CLG players?
They're gonna Clutch Gaming. I think that CLG might not even make the playoffs because I don't know enough.
So you don't think they're gonna make the playoffs three times in a row?
I think that Wiggly has not played enough, so they really
Wiggly has been in best of fives
in the Academy League.
I mean, how
does that count?
To be fair,
that doesn't count at all.
Well, best of fives are mentally draining on people, and he can play.
They're still the Academy League. They're not to the same extent. I think that Wiggly is too much of a question mark. His 2 games are good, but we've seen a lot of players play extremely well
for a game and then fall off completely.
Play really good for a few games in a row and then play terrible. I don't know enough about him. I think that mid lane is Power Vival is gonna be extremely good. Stixxay is inconsistent and Darshan's terrible.
He hates this guy. I wouldn't say hate. He just hates what he's become now.
He was so good at one point, it frustrates me. I would love to see him come back to form.
Why can't he just change his name to Zion Spartan again?
He was, ever since he changed his name, actually. He's been terrible. Maybe a little bit.
Like, I don't know where, like, because if you watch, like, the CLG videos, they strive to be a macro team. It's what they literally go for. They want to be an elite org that people mention, like Cloud9, TSM. They want to be like that again. You can't get to be like Cloud9 and TSM if you don't have players in the positions to do it. Like, how can you compete with people like Darshan internationally again?
I honestly think with a better coaching staff, they would be.
They have Weldon now. Weldon did make TSM really good in season 6.
I have an extreme large amount of faith in Weldon.
Even when he came back for this split,
it's
TSM
not
got
about
better.
His abilities in league, more so as his abilities to be a psychologist.
Yeah. Like, if you watch his mind games with Weldon, if you search up his YouTube channel, it's actually amazing.
I think he can fix the mental issues on this team, so I do think this team could easily be good.
But you said it before, fixing mental issues doesn't make you a better in-game.
Only if you're good. If you're mentally bad, like, let's think about Piglet. I do
or Lorlo.
Like,
If you go up to Laurel and be like,
no,
"Hey,
I just don't think he's good. I want to.
I
I want to
think
bring
Laurel's
us.
mental's bad too. Like if you go up to Laurel,
Yeah, but I want to bring up good players.
oh my god,
What I'm saying is, I think that Piglet struggles with mental issues, and when he's mentally bad, it makes him bad because he's mentally fragile. If he had no mental issues, obviously he'd be incredible, but he does, and it makes him inconsistent.
but that's a problem in itself too. Like what if you had, let's say if you couldn't talk to girls, I go up to you one day like you can talk to girls, you can do anything. If your mind can't physically believe it, it doesn't matter. So if Welland goes up to the team now, and they have bad mentals, he's like, you guys can do it. If they still don't believe it, it's not going to matter in general.
I don't think he's going to do it like that. If he can fix the mental issues, is the big thing I'm saying.
But where do those things lie? Does it lie in the person or does it lie in the actual game? What I saw, it didn't lie in their mental, in like personality wise. It lied in the game. Their actual gameplay was visibly garbage.
What I'm saying is all mental issues stem from the person, Joseph.
I don't know because they did have some performances where it looked like they could do well.
It doesn't mean you don't have mental issues. I think their biggest problem is the lack of ability. Like, essentially, when they start losing, they get tilted. I think that's the biggest thing, and a lot of people throw that on. But we saw Darshawn actually played well for a few games in a row.
He played good for those games they won.
And then he did terrible. Right after they started losing, he became
And
Darshawn.
then when they lost 6, it looked even worse.
I don't like Zix. I don't like Zix either, just so you guys know.
Like, if I'm gonna since we did top and jungle, I think Darshawn will be 9th place top laner, which means he's a non-factor. Wiggly, I think upper middle pack jungler, which is gonna be.
I really want him to do good, man.
Because if he's upper middle pack, he'll be much better than Rainover, which will give him much better results.
If he's good, this team is gonna make the playoffs for sure.
Over Clutch Gaming.
I'm not even putting Clutch Gaming at the bottom spot.
I don't think there's a place where Clutch and CLG make it together. I think one of them has to sit out.
I don't know enough about how these teams are going to perform.
But, like, who would you play? Like, if you had to just guess right now. Because there's not a world in which both of them are going to make it, though. I feel like both these teams are going to have struggles throughout the whole split.
There's definitely a world where it does happen.
I think, like, they're going to have struggles throughout the whole split. And one week is going to perform much better than the other, which is going to get one in the playoffs, and then we're going to see the other one out. But that really depends on which one will actually be that one. But
the thing about it is, if Clutch Gaming is either not going to make it or they're going to make 4th place, I guarantee it because they're so weird. There's just such a weird mesh of a team.
This is literally just Echo Fox of last year, just like marginally worse players.
Not even marginally worse. Their bot lane's better, but their jungler's a little worse if he's not playing well.
That's pretty much it for CLG. Are worse when you see our team power rankings. I'm putting them at like 6th.
Who?
CLG, maybe.
I might put them out. It's really dependent on who I think. Clutch Gaming and CLG are obviously going to be my debate.
Yeah, it's right now. It's me between. I haven't did my top 5 solidified yet, but it's between Clutch and CLG to be 5th or 6th or 7th. Because one has stronger suits than the other one other one doesn't, and then yeah, pretty much it. But yeah, that's the CLG. Nothing else. Who has Echo Fox and FlyQuest are left? Those would be easily 10-minute videos. This one, it's like debatable because CLG does have like the long-standing like players in the org, so I do have hopes for them. I just don't see them. See, they've never had amazing standout players in every single performance, like in every single category, to beat the better teams so consistently.
CLG during 2015 had a lot of standout players,
but they weren't the best at every single role.
They were best at. I think
certain
their bot
points,
lane,
like you said,
their bot lane was the best at one before Summer Split. Their mid laner was not good. I mean, obviously, but their jungler and top laner were extremely good too. Like, they're the best at their roles too. So it's like they've had positions where they've been one of the best at every roles, but
it's not consistent enough.
It's not consistency. More so is they've never had the coaching staff or organization to pull it off. I think it more so lies in the organizational structure of the team than anything. So if we want to see them succeed, I think that Weldon has to fix the mental issues of the team.
He has to fix their macro.
Well, he can't fix the macro. He can fix the mental, and I think somebody else strategically has to fix the macro. Because I don't believe in his game knowledge more so as I believe in his his ability to fix mental issues.
So that's pretty much it, actually. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Oh, also, Merry Christmas. That's the day this is being recorded on. Merry Christmas.
I got pizza.
JTH and Nightwing signing out. Like, comment, subscribe.
Shut up.